Tourism interests are expressing optimism given the relaxed restrictions for travel into the country. The revised measures took effect on the weekend as more hoteliers contemplate their future in light of the pandemic. It was arguably one of the biggest headaches for tourists visiting the country's shores. The Visit Jamaica platform was rife with delays for approval, causing some to cancel their vacation. Essentially, one was required to upload a COVID test certificate and then wait for approval from health officials. But the government has abandoned that prerequisite. As of 2 days ago, tourists are no longer required to upload their COVID-19 test certificate. They must instead present it at the airport. Additionally, while pre-entry testing remains, visitors from high-risk countries now have the option of doing antigen tests. President of the Montego Bay chapter of the JHDA, Robin Russell, says the revised measure will guarantee more tourists to the country. He also defended the protocols in place to ensure staff and guests alike are protected from the virus.
We know that there must be balance because a safe destination will always beat a destination that's unsafe. We can't have tourists, travelers, locals, anybody coming into the resort area and getting sick. So it is important that we continue to test, continue to be safe, and so far we've been able to boast that no spread has been from tourist to worker or worker to tourist so far.
But given the community spread of the virus, concerns have been raised about tourism workers living in vulnerable communities. In St. James, for example, there's been an increase in the number of cases in recent weeks.
We test our staff in terms of temperature check on a regular basis, and we also have candid conversations with the staff. Have they come into contact with anybody that might have had COVID or have COVID? And we don't allow them to come to work until they have gotten a negative test or until they feel better or until. So, we don't only check the workers, but we also check the guests.
Health officials in St. James reminded that with community spread of the coronavirus now in effect, all tourism workers must adhere to the protocols.
The important thing for persons to do is to follow the principles that we say in the guidelines. That is to ensure we wear a mask, to constantly practice hand hygiene with sanitizing and hand washing, and to socially distance. So the workers in communities must remember that, to observe those restrictions that we have in place as well, and to ensure that if they at all get ill, that they stay home and that they report to get tested and also to be treated.